Okay, so today I'm going to show you how to create a pop-up lightbox from a repeated list in a Wix website. This comes in really handy if you've got a lot of information that you want to show, but not all of the details on one page. So you could list it down, and when you click on a particular item, the pop-up comes with the extra information that you want to show. You can use a dynamic page for this feature, but it does take you away from the original page. So when you come back to the original page, you've lost your place in that list and you're back at the top of the page. So the Lightbox is a fantastic alternative. So what you're going to need first of all is your blank screen. I am working I've reduced the size of the screen down to 75%. So if you do that, then make sure you go back after. But I like to just see more of what's going on the screen. So I'm going to go here, add, and I'm going to go to list, and I'm going to pick the first repeater. There's lots of different ones, but let's just get one. So I'm going to go through everything step by step. So these repeaters, you can manipulate the way they look, the design of them, add or take away more elements, but we're just going to keep it like this for now. Got a repeater. What I'm going to do next is create a database. So this is my list of databases. And we're going to call it, just call recipes. 1, 2, 3, that's what our database is going to be called. Leaving it as site content, pressing create collection, and then what it's going to do is bring up what looks like an Excel sheet almost, where you can list all your items and all of the information. So I'm going to timestamp this video if you know most of this, so you can skip past and just get the codes and how I attached it. Right, so got nothing in there at the moment. Title is what I'm going to use for the name of the recipe. I'm going to ignore these for now, and I'm going to add another field, and this one can be the meal. Keep it as a text type. So now we're knowing whether it's breakfast, lunch or dinner. Then I want the nutritional value, and I want calories. I also am going to give them ingredients and cooking instructions. So instructions, and I am just going to scroll across. I'm going to give them a food pic. So this one needs to be changed to image. Save that. So they're all the fields that I want to fill out. And I could go in and add things manually. So it could be toast that I'm having for breakfast. As you can, yeah. So, but what I'm going to do is just import an Excel document that I made earlier, and then I converted it to a CSV file. I'm going to import the entire collection. Yeah. Oh, I want to import items. So choose the file. I think it's in here. There it is, mini database. Okay, so all you're going to do here is just the title, existing field title. Yep, that's correct. So I'm not creating a new field. I'm keeping the field that I've already made. Meal, that looks right. Ingredients, accept that, yeah. All right, all looks good. Just going to press next and import this all. All right, but for some reason I've got no nutritional value for the breakfast. So let's just change that just for the sake of have we got everything else? Yeah, so We've got all of that information in now. And we're going to add a food picture. So for the watermelon salsa, I've already uploaded these, but you would just add media by clicking this, and you can upload directly into your media library. So watermelon salsa, I'm adding that. This one is southwestern vegetable. Here we go, and chicken soup. And the next one, roasted salmon. Let's add that. Lemon, yeah, I couldn't find a picture, so I use that. And this one's spinach and eggs. All right, so we've got our database created. Nice, now we're going to add the database to this page. So you click add content elements, and then you hit add at dataset, and it will give you an empty dataset. And first of all, what I'm going to do is rename the dataset. So I go into the developers console. If you haven't got yours switched on, you go up to dev mode, hover over it and turn it on here, and then you'll be able to access this window. So down here, I'm going to rename this dataset to recipes, dataset. Okay, so it's now called that. I'm going to hit the settings. I'm going to connect it to the database that we just created, which is this one, recipes 123. I'm going to have it as a read only because you're only going to read the information on this page. You're not going to be typing in and adding anything to the database. So keep it as read only. And I'm going to change this to 3 because I only want 3 items to show at a time. And what I will do is add buttons. Let's just add something. Button. Change the text. So if you want to see the next, let's just duplicate that to make a previous button as well. So if you want to see the next 3 items, you would click these buttons. All right, so that's what we've got. Now we've got the data set and the repeater. Let's connect those up. So you click on the repeater. You want to hit this squiggly line with the dots at the end. And we are going to choose a data set to connect it to. We've only got one on the page, so we select that. And we just go through and connect all the elements. So the first thing is highlighting this piece of text here. I'm going to connect that to the title. So you should see the titles, there we go, of the first 3. If we go back to all connections, that one's connected. The next one, I am going to connect that to the calories. And that should connect. Take a little bit of time. Oh, I don't think I've got any calories written in the data set. So let me just double check. Manage the content. Just wait for it to load. All right, where's calories? Calories. I have nothing written in there. So, what's that? 46 calories. What's this one? 213. 330. And 299 if I remember. Okay, so now we have got calories. That will connect where it says Morocco. There we go. Now I don't want any other information here, so I'm going to delete that and it will delete off all of them. I'm going to delete this and they'll all go. And I do want the image connected though. So you can either, I'm selecting the image, hitting that connection button, and I'm going to connect it to the food pic. All right, so that's what we've got. So that's what it looks like. Now, we could manipulate what it, design that, saying I want it to take the bold off of it. I may want to reduce the size slightly, and I may want to increase the size of this. So I'm just gonna try not to go too fast. Let's have that up to something like 25. There we go. All right, so what I'm going to do next is add a button. So when you click on this button, it's going to bring the pop-up with the ingredients and the instructions. So let's go over to here, add. Now, if this was mine, I would take a lot longer on the design. First of all, what I would definitely do is make this slightly transparent. Maybe not that much. Something like that. But yeah, I'm not going to do that in this video. Let's just change the text. Say view. And change what this button's called. I'll call it view button. Okay, so let's just open up my notepad because I've got the code already there, and we just copy and paste this in. Here it is. All right, so you're going to need 1, 2, 3 lines, and then the end in bracket. Copy it, copy it, copy it. You're going to select this button, which is now called view button, and you're going to click this where it says on click, and you can either press enter or hit this button. So we've added an event. What we're going to do is just delete all of this grey area because it's not needed. And in this grey area, we're going to paste in that code. Okay, so we've got a code here that's looking at the meal label. So we need to make sure that this here is called meal label, and it's case sensitive. Okay, so we are taking the information from this and we are going to send it to a Lightbox called meal ideas, which I'm going to create. And then when we get to that Lightbox, we're going to filter that database so that it brings up the instructions for watermelon salsa. Now, the other thing that you must do is just add a comma, a $sign and a W here, just because that button's inside a container, which is inside a repeater. If you don't add that there, it won't bring up the individual items. It will just only ever bring up the first item. So we've put the code in on this page. What we're going to do now is create a Lightbox. So if you go to, there's 2 ways to do it, but we'll do it this way. Pretend you have no Lightboxes already created. You'll go to interactive and you'll go under Lightboxes. I'm just going to select the first one, welcome. Click that, and then you can design this. So if you click on the overlay, you can change what that's like, color, image, video. Just going to have it white. I'm going to delete all of this, and I'm just going to add elements. So I'm going to add, first of all, text. Say the title, and I'm going to call that text title. I'm going to add some more text. So this could be our nutritional value, and I'm going to call it that as well with a capital V. I'm just going to duplicate this now because we are going to have calories. Well, we don't need a separate one for calories. We'll just have instructions, And we're going to keep that as it is. We're not attaching any code to that. Instructions here, I'm going to name this one instructions. And if I just put a colon there. All right, I'm going to do the same thing. So I'm going to select that, press Control, select that, and copy, duplicate both of them. And this one is going to be the ingredients label. And this one is actually going to have the ingredients text. Ingredients, which means we need to just label, type, give this one a name, ingredients. And we want a picture, we want a food image there. So I'm just going to pick any image. Let's pick something free from Wix or Unsplash. Let's just type plate. Come on. Right. And pick the first. Click the wrong thing there, haven't I? Right, so pick the first image. I'm going to add that to the page. Get it to a reasonable size so it fits in my Lightbox. Just going to change the colour of that. All right, nice, we've got all of that. Now, click on this box. What you must do is check your triggers. So first of all, I'm going to call this meals. This Lightbox is called meals, and no, it does not automatically display. And I'm going to have a close button on there as well. What you will want to do is just check it on the mobile, because it'll all be higgledy-piggledy until you go in and rearrange it. Probably have a super fat close button. Here we go, look. So I like to have mine at about 30. That's good enough for me. Decide how you want that, where you want it. But we will want our image, our title, our nutritional value, our instructions, and our ingredients. So that's good enough for now, but of course you would design yours and make it lovely. So let's just go back. You would want to check the mobile look of the actual page as well. The repeater will not be the same as how you've designed it on the desktop. All you need to do now is copy in the whole of this code, the second part that I'm going to give you. And let's see, what have we not done? So the nutritional value, I've spelt it wrong, I've missed an L. So now that should be fine. And it is. Instructions, again, I've spelled it wrong, have I? Oh, I've given it a capital I. So that should be fine. Now the only other thing that we need to do is bring in a database, the actual database, so the same one. We're going to add the content elements, press add, bring it over here. Going to hit settings to connect it to recipes 1, 2, 3. This is read only. We only need to see one item. It's only going to show one item at a time. And then lastly, you just want to name this data set. I've called it Meal Ideas Dataset. Capital. So that it can read it. Brilliant. All right, so what you've got now, oh, we'll go back to the other page and I'll show you, but what you've got is, as this window opens up, it's going to read the pop-up information that we've coded on the previous page, which will be the name. So watermelon salsa, and then it's going to filter this data set by watermelon salsa. So it's going to bring out all that information along the row of that item, and fill up all of these elements as we've told it to. And just here, is that called image 1? Yes. I've just set a timeout function, so that will pop up half a second after everything else does, just to give it time to load. So we just need to exit this, go back to the main page and just change this to meals, because I've named that Lightbox meals. So this is going to open the Lightbox called meals, and it's going to bring some information over, and that's the information we're bringing over. Okay, so I have just noticed a little mistake here. So here we've got a capital M, but the name is actually with a smaller m, so, and it won't pick that up as a spelling mistake. So just make sure you've got that correct. Now as we go and preview this, see how this all looks. We press view and it will bring up the watermelon salsa, ingredients, and if we press this one, it will bring up the next one, and so on. Just close that. Now, the other thing that you'll want to do is just connect these buttons. Very simply, click on it, hit that connection icon again, and we're going to connect. It's already connected there, but the action is going to be to load the next page, so it'll load the next set of 3. That's done, and this one will be on previous. Previous page. So just to give you a quick look, so previous is blanked out because there's nowhere to go backwards, but we can go forwards. So if we press that, we should see our 4th one, and our database has got an empty entry. So if that happens, all you need to do is select that database, recipes 1, 2, 3, and you will see there that you've probably got 5 items instead of 4, and the 5th one's empty. There it is. So we just get rid of this, delete it, and then we've got a nice clean database. So that's how you can use a list and give more information. Now that takes up quite a bit of space, but going through what Wix have, if you click lists, go to repeaters, you could make it tiny, you know, so you could have something like this. Just drag it down. With just text. So have a play about and see what databases that you can create and link to Lightboxes.